livestream.net.
Good evening and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ and my call is KDAVYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2487 with a release date of Friday, June 27th, 2025. To follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. WD9GCO. Our top story takes us this week to Washington, D.C., where the Federal Communications Commission has received a request from the 5G broadband service provider, AST Space Mobile, to modify its license so that it can transmit on the portion of the 70-centimeter band used by amateur radio. The Texas-based company is seeking the frequencies between 430 and 440 megahertz for telemetry, tracking, and telecommand between ground stations and its satellites. At the same time, the company is seeking FCC approval for its operation of 248 low Earth orbit, non-geostationary satellites. It is presently licensed for 5. The company's request to use the 70-centimeter band is not insignificant. In 2023, the German regulator BNetzA ordered AST Space Mobile to shut its operations when in the range of the country, citing harmful interference that violated ITU regulations. In March of 2024, the company said it had updated its constellation's filings with the ITU and the FCC. It also reduced some of its power levels and changed the heights of its orbits, according to the Advanced Television website. AST Space Mobile is a rival of SpaceX, which operates the Starlink satellite constellation, which is testing direct-to-cell with T-Mobile. Earlier this year, AT&T and AST Space Mobile received FCC permission to test direct-to-cellular satellite connectivity. Public comments are due by July 21st. For a link to the filing, see the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. The ARRL has been busy with much more than Field Day. In fact, just as Field Day gets underway, Logbook of the World will be moving to a cloud computing platform and getting some technical upgrades. Jeff Parker, W8ISH, has those details.
Just as hams were making their final preparations for ARRL Field Day here in the U.S. and in Canada, the ARRL was scheduling downtime for Logbook of the World beginning on June 27th. The ARRL called the process part of the, quote, ongoing modernization of the ARRL system's infrastructure, unquote. When completed, the system is to be fully operational on the cloud. The ARRL said the move will ensure that users are protected from physical and network-based security risks. The last major service disruption for LOTW was last year when several ARRL services that were compromised by a ransomware attack. The ARRL announced its return to service not quite 2 months later on July 1st. In making the announcement of this year's upgrade, CEO David Mester, NA2AA, said on the ARRL website that LOTW would return to full online operations on the 2nd of July or sooner if possible. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
The paint that BMW used 6 years ago on one of its cars as an experiment is now being looked at as a way to reduce light pollution from satellites that has been plaguing radio astronomers. Randy Sly, W4XJ, has the details.
What is blacker than black? It's the super black paint known as Vanta Black, and its creator, Surrey Nanosystems, designed it to absorb 98% of light. BMW tested it out on one of its crossover Model X6 cars just as an experiment in 2019. According to Space.com, the paint reflects only 2% of visible and infrared light. Now AMSAT UK is preparing to launch Vanta Black on its Jovian 1 CubeSat mission to test its ability to avoid interference with space telescopes. The Jovian 1 goes into space sometime next year. At this year's AMSAT UK colloquium in October, expect to learn more about this adventure in light pollution reduction. Meanwhile, if things work out, Vanta Black might provide a solution for the private satellite constellations that researchers say have been interfering with ground-based astronomical research. As more satellites are being sent into space, that's not insignificant to observatories here on the ground. This is Randy Sly, W4XJ.
Scientists in China are claiming that they have achieved unprecedented speed in sending data from satellites using low-power lasers. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, has that story.
In a development that some observers say could someday replace satellites' reliance on RF, scientists in China are claiming that they have developed a transmission method using minimal laser power. The method is known as AOMDR synergy and utilizes a 2-watt laser. Scientists at a Peking University and the Chinese Academy of Sciences have said that by employing this technique, they recently accomplished a 1 gigabit per second data transmission to Earth from a geostationary satellite. Researchers praised the development, adding that it addresses a common challenge for satellite downlinks, the distortion caused by atmospheric turbulence. The developers of the process said that AOMDR addresses this by stabilizing the laser signal even when it faces atmospheric turbulence. The technique combines adaptive optics and mode diversity reception. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
Scientists on the frozen Antarctic continent got a good warm feeling listening to the shortwave radio recently. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, tells us why.
The shortwave broadcast wasn't aiming for big global listenership. Indeed, there were perhaps only a few dozen pairs of ears for whom this special program was intended. Still, the BBC's Antarctic midwinter broadcast is a shortwave tradition down under. This year, its 70th anniversary year was no different. Scientists and support staff of the British Antarctic Survey Team were tuned in on the 21st of June to hear welcoming messages from home, including a pre-recorded greeting from King Charles, the first monarch to participate in the tradition. The show only lasted a half hour, but has been a big part of a midwinter at British research stations on the frozen continent for decades. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
Here in the U.S., the Youth on the Air America's Camp has just wrapped up in suburban Denver, Colorado. Soon, it will be France's turn to host eager young amateurs. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, has the details.
Youngsters on the Air, also known this year as Yota France, is getting ready for its 13th edition. The camp will be taking place at the Château de Jeanville, near Paris, from the 18th to the 25th of August, and is being hosted by the French National Amateur Radio Society, Réseau des Émetteurs Français, or REF. Although the camp serves primarily youngsters from throughout the IARU Region 1, guest campers will be welcomed from Regions 2 and 3. About 100 young amateurs attend these camps each year, participating as teams representing their countries. Previous Yota summer camps have been held in such countries as Czechia, Hungary, Croatia, Bulgaria, South Africa, and Great Britain. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
It's time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the CQ0URAS UHF and CQ0ERAS VHF repeaters in Portugal on Saturdays and Sundays at 12 noon local time. In Sweden, the Grimeton radio station is marking its Jubilee year in the most appropriate way possible. Can you guess how? Well, Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, has some answers.
The Jubilee year for the Grimeton radio station in Sweden is well underway, having begun last December. The highest point of the year, however, will come on the 2nd of July, the exact date 100 years ago when the station's 200-kilowatt alternator sent a message across the Atlantic Ocean for receipt by the U.S. President Calvin Coolidge. The message reached the receiving station in Riverhead, New York, on Long Island, and the President sent a reply praising the new broadcaster and sharing his hopes for good relations between Sweden and the U.S. The 2nd of July is nearly here, and the 100-year anniversary of that historic message is being celebrated with a telegram to be transmitted from the station using CW on 17.2 kilohertz at 0900 UTC. The station will be using the original call sign SAQ. The broadcast can be heard on a receiver with VLF capability and will also be streamed live on YouTube. Meanwhile, hams wishing to make contact with the amateur radio station SK6SAQ in CW or SSB should be listening on 8040 and 20 meters. Details are available at alexander.n.se. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
Just a reminder that the popular 13 Colonies special event runs from the 1st of July through to the 8th, UTC. Certificates are available at all levels of achievement. Shortwave listeners and hunters outside the U.S. are welcome. Operators will be using all modes on all HF bands except for 60 meters. Be listening as well on 2 and 6 meters. See the link in the text version of this week's Newsline script at arnewsline.org. Being a soda activator has given one ham in Australia much more than memorable QSOs, spectacular summit views, and some outdoor adventures. It has provided him with some life-saving skills, as we hear from Jason Daniels, VK2, LAW.
As record-breaking fires consumed huge sections of the Canadian province of Alberta, Wade Smith, VK1 MIC, was preparing for an activation that would take him into the heart of the destruction. As captain of the Communications Brigade in the New South Wales Rural Fire Service, Wade responded to Canada's request by travelling from Sydney with the Australian contingent. Wade added his specialised skills in air radio and dispatch to assist the joint Australian-Albertan Incident Management Team, operating in the remote northern region of Alberta. Facing the challenge of several large fires raging, Wade and his team handled more than 500 calls daily. The firefighting effort mustered more than 20 aircraft involved in operations across several large fires. Wade, who is also the VK1 SOTA Association manager, said his years of SOTA experience have served as great practice for staying focused, handling several stations at once, and managing fast-moving communications pile-ups. He said, quote, "These same skills are directly transferable to coordinating air operations under pressure," end quote. The fires posed hazards on the ground locally as well as for the air quality in much of North America. Weather experts attribute the conditions in the region to an ongoing trend of dry, warm conditions that have been worsened by the global climate crisis. This is Jason Daniels, VK2LAW.
In the world of DX, Lawrence, FM5BH, will be on the air as J79BH from Dominica, IOTA number NA101, from the 25th through to the 29th of June. Listen for him on 80 through 10 meters, where he will operate CW and single sideband. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Harry, JG7PSJ, is using the call sign JD1BMH from Chichijima, IOTA number AS031. Ogasawara from the 26th of June through to the 4th of July. Harry is using CW, single sideband, and RTTY on 40 through 10 meters. See QRZ.com for details. Listen for the call sign KP4NET from VK Island, also known as Isla Nena, IOTA number NA249. A team of operators will be on the air with that call sign on the 27th through to the 29th of June, mainly on 40, 20, and 10 meters, using single sideband and CW. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Chemo, OH3DJP is operating holiday style as OH0, OH3DJP from the Åland Islands, IOTA number EU002 until the 1st of July. Chemo is on various HF bands, also listen on 6 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. It's pretty well known that some scientists study outer space in search of extraterrestrial life, but what happens when researchers believe they have instead stumbled upon the afterlife? Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, tells us what did and didn't really happen in this week's final story.
Rest in peace, NASA Relay 2 satellite. The spacecraft was one of 2 launched at different times in the 1960s by the U.S. Space Agency to serve as experimental communications satellites. Unlike NASA's Relay 1, which transmitted American TV signals to Japan and Europe, Relay 2 was used for barely a year. It stopped operations in 1965, and its transponders were believed to have died in 1967. The key word here is believed, because 1 year ago this month, researchers in Australia were certain they'd heard Relay 2 returning radio pulses to Earth, much the same way some so-called zombie satellites, like the famous AMSAT Oscar 7, have been known to do. In this case, no seances or Ouija boards were necessary to understand this message from the great beyond. Some scientists theorize the pulses came from the discharge of electrostatic energy, or ESD, that had built up on Relay 2 over time. Another theory is that its impact with a micrometeoroid released a cloud of plasma capable of sending such a signal. Researchers plan to study both ESD and the micrometeoroid effect in the hope of a better understanding in the future. It's not about alien life or afterlife then, just breathing new life into solving more mysteries of space. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
And 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website, where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Advanced Television, Alexanderson Association, Amateur News Daily, AMSAT, the ARRL, BBC, CBC, David Behar, K7DB, DX World, 425 DX Bulletin, the FCC, Interesting Engineering, Live Science, MSN, New Scientist, QRZ.com, the Radio Society of Great Britain, Radio World, shortwaveradio.de, space.com, SWLing Post, Wade Smith, VK1MIC, the Wireless Institute of Australia, Yoda.com, Zero Retries Newsletter, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025. All rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 10 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is WO3X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until the activity slows down. Then I'll go 1 at a time. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been corresponded with, I will give one last call for check-ins, or I will repeat the announcements and then give one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Since this is the 5th Monday of a month, we will be on a different frequency compared to when we have 4 Mondays in a month. And so today we are going to be on 12 meters on 24.972 megahertz. 24.972 megahertz. That will be at 9:30. That'll be upper sideband. Please join us if you have the equipment. Okay, here are the announcements. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be on July 9th, and it will be at the Pilgrim United Church there in Cuyahoga Falls, which has a listed address of 130 Broad Boulevard. But you get to the meeting by going to the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street, just south of Broad Boulevard, and then go into the building where the door is off the corner of the parking lot. Let's see here. Let's see, and then after that, then there may be some activity at the clubhouse on. Let's see, what would that be? July 23rd. So watch the announcements for that. And watch for the newsletter, which will be coming out soon. Let's see, that's all that I have in a way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club.
Good evening, John. Please, WAECT here.
WAECT, go ahead, Frank.
Well, I just want to start by thanking the 20 or so club members that helped make Field Day a success this year. Haven't looked at any numbers yet, haven't even started unpacking anything. I've had issues here at home to deal with, but I want to thank each and every one of you, whether you're there for setup, for teardown, handled food, handled operating, or was just there for moral support, whatever you did, if you were out there helping, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I had a great time, and it was a pleasure working with each and every one of you. As far as the clubhouse, at the field day pre-meeting last week, we also were able to get a ground rod installed. So if we don't get to it before then, at least one of the things we'll do is finish installing the lightning protection and the grounding system for the ground rod. It'll be in the fourth Wednesday of June, and well, we'll see what happens there. A lot happening between now and then, and like John said, stay tuned, watch our website, watch the newsletter, and you'll see updates. We'll have lots of pictures. Excuse me, let me pause for time. We'll have lots of pictures in the newsletter. I know Bruce is out there taking pictures left and right, so I'm going to get with him, and we'll have stories and newsletters. And if you're out there at Field Day doing anything at all, and you saw some way we can improve things, some way we could do something better, a problem that you saw that we need to work on, please write it down now so that we can analyze it. We will have of course, a post-Field Day presentation at the meeting coming up here on the second Wednesday of the month, and I'd like to collect your thoughts and comments then and get them on paper for whoever and however we do Field Day next year. All right, that's all I got, John. Please check me in, and I'll try to catch you tonight on, what was the band again? Go ahead, John. It's all yours.
Yeah, we'll be on 12 meters, and the frequency will be 24.972 megahertz. 24.972 megahertz, upper sideband.
Sounds good, John. I'll be there. W8ECT, back to them.
Okay, thanks, Frank. Yeah, I had a good time at Field Day. Also, I was there briefly for the setup, and then went home to attempt to record the Field Day message, and then I went back out to Groundhog Hill there to start operating at midnight. Since 12 a.m. Sunday, and so that went well. I operated until almost 6 a.m. when WA3JAT returned, and then came back out, or I went home and operated my WO3X1 Echo Ohio until 2 o'clock, and then went back out to Groundhog Hill there to help with the teardown. So had a lot of fun there this weekend. Okay, let's see. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club?
Alpha Charlie 8, X-Ray Oscar.
Go ahead, Vince.
Well, first off, all I can say is, John, you got a hell of a lot more stamina than I do. I can't stay up past 9 o'clock, and if you're staying up overnight and doing all that nonsense, you're a better man than me, Gunga Din. The only thing I got to complain about or to talk about is it's newsletter time. Today's the end of the month. Tomorrow's June 1st. Tomorrow's Canada Day. Break for time. Sorry, I said June 1st. It's July 1st. It's Canada Day, which means it's the start of 13 colonies. And yes, I'm going to participate in 13 colonies, but the newsletter. That means all these folks that want to get stuff in now. If now isn't soon enough, then do it now. But, you know, hey, yeah, pictures are great. Send some context. I don't know who people are, and people don't know who people are. Other than that, John, that's all I got. Alpha Charlie 8, X-Ray Oscar, back to net.
Okay, Vince, very good. Yeah, I noticed yesterday evening that I was feeling a little drowsy, and I guess that's from being up all that time. So that's how that went. So thanks for checking in, and thanks for working with that newsletter. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? Okay, let's see. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Please let me acknowledge your call sign, and we'll get back with you after we get 5 or so checked in here. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor.
K8HMS.
K8HMS. Okay, Steve, we'll get back with you. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Delta Golf Delta, Bill in Macedonia. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Bill. Good to hear from you. We'll get back with you in a moment here. Another check-in, please. One at a time here after we do talk with Bill. Okay, Steve, K8HMS, go ahead with your comments.
Yeah, WAVPV in the net, K8HMS. Yeah, hi, John. Thanks for running the net. Good to see you yesterday. And yeah, it was a decent field day. I felt bad that they couldn't get CW going out there, but that's nobody's fault. Everybody worked their butt off, and kudos to Frank that made the whole thing go, put the whole thing together, and made it go like it should. So did what I could, and I guess that's about it. So anyway, it was a good time, and the weather hung in there, and it was all worked out well. So, yeah, back to you, WAVPV, K8HMS.
Yeah, okay, Steve. Yeah, there was a straight key there by the 40 meters sideband radio. I'm not sure what it was connected to, but I'm not sure where a third station would have gone. I guess it could have been in that same facility as the 40 meter sideband. So that's how that went. So okay, well, maybe next year we'll have a CW station somewhere there on the setup. So good seeing you there, and so 73, and have a good evening. And we're going to be on 12 meters this evening at 9:30 on 24.972 megahertz. If you can get something like that going, that'll be upper sideband. Over.
Okay, John. Yeah, and the problem was, we were over in the big trailer for sideband digital and CW, and they just couldn't get the heater or whatever to work up or to look at the thing. I don't know the deal for CW. So it just didn't go. So, but that's okay. It all worked out.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, there was a spot there already. So, okay, well, thanks for checking in, 73. Have a good evening, and maybe we'll hear you on 12 meters this evening. So, let's go to Bill, KFADGD DGD. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments.
KF8, DGD, W8BPV. Good evening, John. Everybody on the net. Glad everybody had a good time at field day. Not too much going on here. We had quite a rainstorm. Other than that, I enjoyed the field day also. I was somebody else on field day this year. Had a good time. Other than that, not too much else going on. I'll turn it back over to you, John. Have a good evening. And 73, KF8, DGD, W8ZTV. I'll be clear.
Okay, Bill, very good. Good hearing from you here, and thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, with John WO3X at the mic, asking for check-ins.
This is Kilo Echo
Victor
8,
Hotel Kilo, John and Kenmore, no traffic, in and out.
Okay, there was a double there, but Victor Hotel Kilo, that's all I caught, was what I heard. Please repeat your call sign.
Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo, John and Kenmore, in and out.
Okay, Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo, John and Kenmore, in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. And who was the other check-in there?
This is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, Kurt in Cuyahoga Falls.
E8 ULC, Kurt, we'll get back with you in a moment here, maybe pretty soon. Another check-in, please.
KE8 KVI, in and out.
KE8 KVI, Ron, have a good evening, 73, and I have you as in and out. Thanks, Ron. Let's see, let me get that. Okay, another check-in, please.
KA8WTK.
KA8WTK. Okay, Bill, I got you on the list. We'll get back with you. Another check-in, please.
Alpha Delta 8, Papa Foxtrot, Greg in Cuyahoga Falls.
In the Merriman Valley. Hope everyone had a good field day, but I'm in and out tonight.
Okay, who was the in and out? KF8AVD. Okay, and let's see. AD8. Could you give me the rest of your call, please?
It's AD8PF, Alpha Delta 8, Papa Foxtrot.
Oh, okay. Okay, Greg. I can't get used to that call sign. Okay, thanks. Let's see. Okay, we have enough there, so let's go to, let's see, who did we get to here? Let's see here. Okay, let's see, let's go to Kurt, KE8ULC. Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay, John, as you were putting up the rest of the antennas at the very end, Ray worked and I started to do some solar with battery and FT8. Afterwards, you went to the trailer to work on the computer for FT8, and we found that there was actually a bad communication cable between the computer and the radio. We exchanged that out and we got FT8 up. I would suspect that the actual CW would have worked after that. Back to you, John. This was KE8ULC.
Oh, okay, Kurt. Very good. Yeah, I'm not sure who's doing those, who's setting that stuff up. I left early in the setup to go home to attempt to record the field day message. So I'm not sure who was doing the setup there with those 3 stations. So yeah, we'll have to look into that and maybe get that all working better next year. But the FT8 and the multi-band phone worked well when I got there for the midnight operation. It was going very well. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening.
Final comment, please.
Go ahead.
Perhaps we need 2 computers set up, one with the one MM logger on for the CW or whatever software they're using, and another one for the software, the WJTX, whatever it is, for the FT8. Then they can just swap out the cable between the 2.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah, because, if I was doing that at home, I would have 2 computers set up for that. Yeah, that's a good idea there. Thanks. Okay, let's see. So we had Kurt there, and then so next was Ron, KE8, KBI was in and out. And so we go to Bill, KAAWTK. Go ahead, Bill, with your comments.
Evening, John, W8VPV. This is KA8WTK. Yep, we're in the shop tonight. Haven't been for the last few weeks. We were out west for about 3 weeks. We went out to see our granddaughters in Portland, Oregon. It is the first trip we've taken where we didn't run into rain at any point in time. Not in Portland, not on the trip back and forth. Nowhere. I know it rained here and stormed here because I was still getting all the weather alerts on my phone. Break for time. But we didn't run into any. It was a beautiful drive out. There was a lot of smoke from Canada, though. There's a lot of haziness and whatnot. There are wildfires in more places than you can count right now if you look at a map of them. And we drove a cruise that I inherited from my dad out there, 33 miles a gallon. It was quite cool to pull into a gas station at half a tank, put in 7 gallons, and keep driving rather than the kind of mileage we get in the truck. And we only had one issue coming home. We were on Interstate 80, a little east of Salt Lake City, and the pressure cap for the expansion bottle decided it had reached the end of its life. And antifreeze went all over the highway, and we waited 2 hours for a tow truck break. The good part was they towed us to a little town called Morgan, Utah, which Union Pacific has a railroad line run, two-track railroad line runs right through there. Lots of trains, great to watch the trains. Old railroad station, an old town, very friendly people, a little town, about 4,100 people. Took care of the car for less than $150. I was fixed up on the road. We got all the way home. It was worth the 2-hour wait to spend a couple days there in the town relaxing. It was some of the friendliest people I've ever run into. Anyway, back to that. W8VPV, KA8WTK.
Yeah, very good, Bill. What engine does that cruise have? And does it have a turbo or not?
Little 1.4 turbo.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Let's see. My nephew bought one a while ago. I think it was a 2010 or maybe a 2012. I forget about, but it has the turbo. It's a manual transmission, so the positive crankcase ventilation system is a little wild on that thing, and so he sold it to his father, my brother, and he's had it now for the last several years, and he had some coolant leaks, and here it was some piece or something had a crack in it, some plastic piece in the cooling system. So it was easy to get the part, you know, but you wouldn't want to have something like that happen out on the road like that, you know. So yeah, it turned out pretty good for you there. So very good there, Bill. Okay, thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, let's see. Next was Greg, AD8PF. Go ahead, Greg, with your comments.
W8VPV, this is 88PF. Happy Monday to everyone. I'm just playing radio and getting ready to cook supper. So I had a great time at Field Day. This is my second one. I also participated 2 years ago, and I'm looking forward to next year. I did stay up all night. I'm almost caught up with my sleep. So anyway, hope to see everybody soon. Talk to you on the air again Monday at the latest. 88PF, clear.
Okay, Greg, very good. Yeah, it was good seeing you out there with that Field Day operation, and looked like you were having fun with the FT8 there. So very good. So thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Let's see now, KF8AVD. Well, were you in and out, or are you still there for comment? Okay, I guess Ray was in and out. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, with John WO3X at the mic, asking for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. I'll repeat the announcements. Okay, the next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be Wednesday, July 9th. That's Wednesday of next week. And it will be at the Pilgrim United Church in Cuyahoga Falls, which has a listed address of 130 Broad Boulevard. But you get to the meeting by going to the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street, just south of Broad Boulevard, and then go into the building where the entrance is just off the corner of the parking lot. That meeting will start at 7:30, and also as a token of appreciation for their letting us use their facility for our meeting, please bring one canned good food item. There was a list sent out saying that I guess they have plenty of tomato soup, so don't bring any tomato soup, any canned tomato soup. That's the only item I can recall that they had an overabundance of. Let's see. And also, the meeting is on Zoom. You can be an active participant via Zoom. And so go to our website, www.cfarc.org, and along the right side, scroll down to that date, July 9th, and you'll see the link for the Zoom meeting. And that starts at 7:30 also, so you can get on there a little before that and then be an active participant in the meeting. Let's see, I think that's all that I have in a way of announcements at this time. Oh yeah, on July 23rd.
Repeater, timeout. time. Repeater out.
Yeah, I forgot about the timeout. Okay, let's see here. So, July 9th, meeting at 7:30. You can also be an active participant on Zoom. And go to our website, www.cfarc.org, and scroll down the right side there to July 9th, and there you'll see the link for the Zoom meeting. Then on July 23rd, we may be continuing with our lightning protection equipment, and thanks to Paul, KB8RWZ, we now have a ground rod installed. He brought a piece of equipment that put that ground rod in the ground nicely without a huge amount of effort and pounding and things getting out of hand. It just went right in with that machine that he had. So that part of it's done. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have going on? Yeah, like Vince mentioned, tomorrow is Radio Canada Day, and that marks the beginning of the 13 Colonies special event. So get on there and contact the stations. That goes for several days here, starting tomorrow. And start thinking about newsletter articles. Today is June 30th, so the newsletter articles for next month, start thinking about those. Okay, so let's see. That's all that I have in the way of announcements. We will be on 12 meters on 24.972 megahertz for the band exploration net this evening, this is a fifth Monday, so that's why we're on a different band. That's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, somebody trying to check in there? I don't hear any audio. Okay, well, somebody's trying, but the signal's too weak to open up the squelch, so we'll just mark it down as a check-in. So thanks there. So let's see. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is WO3X, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 12 check-ins counting myself, and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:06 p.m. local time. 7-3.
W8VPV. Repeater. Port link off. W8VPV repeater. W8VPV repeater.
This is WO3X reminding you that the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Band Exploration Net this evening will be on the 12-meter band, and it will be on 24.972 megahertz upper sideband. This is a fifth Monday of a month, so we're on a different band than the usual band exploration nets are on. Again, it will be on 12 meters on 24.972 megahertz. This is WO3X. I'll be clear this frequency.